Since 2006, Mexico has been engulfed in a brutal drug war, marked by relentless and bloody conflicts between powerful drug cartels and the government's efforts to bring them under control. The Mexican drug war has resulted in the deaths of tens of thousands of people, the disappearance of countless others, and has triggered a nationwide security crisis. This spiral of violence has deeply affected not only Mexico, but also the entire Latin American region and the United States, leading to significant social, economic, and political repercussions. Drug trafficking in Mexico has been an issue since the mid-20th century, but it took on a new, more dangerous dimension in the early 2000s. During this period, drug cartels managed to establish control over certain regions of Mexico, often exerting power that rivaled or even exceeded that of the state. These cartels built vast criminal empires through drug trafficking, extortion, kidnapping, and murder. Among the most prominent cartels were the SinaloaCartel, LosZetas, and the GulfCartel, each known for their ruthless methods and vast influence. In 2006, then-President FelipeCalderon launched a major offensive against the drug cartels, deploying thousands of troops across the country to dismantle these criminal organizations and curb their influence. However, this move, intended to suppress the cartels, only escalated the violence, leading to an uncontrollable wave of conflict across the nation. The cartels began fighting not only each other, but also government forces, further complicating the war and plunging the country into a state of chaos. The Mexican drug war created an atmosphere of chaos and terror throughout the country. The power struggle between cartels led to street battles, bombings, and mass executions, with cartels employing brutal tactics to weaken their rivals and instill fear in the population. This resulted in the deaths of tens of thousands of people, the disappearance of many, and the displacement of millions. While the violence was most concentrated in areas dominated by the cartels, its effects were felt nationwide, leaving no part of Mexico untouched by the conflict. Beyond the immediate loss of life, the war has severely impacted Mexico's economy. The pervasive violence has shaken investors' and tourists' confidence in the country, leading to a decline in certain economic sectors. Additionally, the cartels have exerted pressure on local businesses to protect their revenue streams, further weakening local economies and exacerbating poverty and instability in affected areas. The Mexican drug war has also had a profound impact on the country's social fabric. People living in the most violent areas have found themselves caught between the cartels and the security forces, with many forced to flee their homes to escape the cartel's control. This mass displacement has resulted in a significant increase in illegal immigration to the United States, straining US-Mexico relations and sparking new debates over border security and immigration policies. The Mexican government has faced significant challenges in its fight against the drug cartels. The cartels possessed immense financial power and vast arsenals, enabling them to mount a strong resistance against the security forces. Moreover, the cartel's infiltration of government and local administrations through corruption further complicated the state's efforts to combat these organizations. Corruption has led many officials to collaborate with the cartels, making it difficult for the government to win this war, as trust in law enforcement and public institutions has eroded. The cartel's activities were not limited to drug trafficking. They also engaged in extortion, kidnapping, human trafficking, and oil theft, among other criminal enterprises. These activities allowed the cartels to increase their revenues and expand their influence. Some cartels, such as LosZetas, became notorious for their brutality and did not hesitate to engage in armed confrontations with the government, further escalating the violence and instability in the country. In response, the Mexican government continuously revised its strategies to counter the cartels. Reforms and operations aimed at combating corruption, strengthening the security forces, and cutting off the cartel's financial resources were implemented. Despite these efforts, the chaos and violence brought by the war have left deep scars in Mexican society and have had long-lasting effects on the country's future. The Mexican drug war has become an international crisis with far-reaching effects beyond Mexico's borders. As drug trafficking is a transnational issue, the United States and other Latin American countries have also been affected by the consequences of this war. The United States, in particular, has been one of the countries most impacted by the drug wars in Mexico, as the flow of drugs from Mexico to the US has fueled addiction and crime on both sides of the border. The US has provided support to the Mexican government in its fight against the drug cartels. Under the Merida Initiative, a partnership program launched in 2007, the US has supplied Mexico with military and financial aid to help combat the cartels. However, the US's role in the war has sometimes strained relations between the two countries, as the ongoing flow of drugs into the US from Mexico has highlighted the need for more effective strategies on both sides to address the root causes of the drug trade. The international community has responded to the Mexican drug war with a variety of reactions. Many countries have called for cooperation to end the violence in Mexico and emphasize the need for regional strategies to address the crisis. However, the cartel's international connections and cross-border operations have made solving this problem even more challenging, as the illicit drug trade involves a complex network of actors across multiple countries. The Mexican drug war is considered one of the most complex and devastating drug wars in modern history. With the deaths of tens of thousands of people and the disruption of millions of lives, this war has deeply shaken Mexican society and has had a profound impact on the entire Latin American region and the United States. The ongoing battle between the cartels and the government has escalated into a widespread security crisis with far-reaching social, economic, and political consequences. The social, economic, and political impacts of this war will leave a lasting mark on Mexico's future. While the Mexican government continues its efforts to end the cycle of violence, resolving this conflict will require international cooperation and comprehensive reforms. The Mexican drug war serves as a stark reminder of the profound impact that drug trafficking and organized crime can have on a nation's social fabric, highlighting the urgent need for a more coordinated and sustained global effort to combat these issues.